Can you talk about the customizability and how open it is for people to play the way they want?
Yeah, so Star Wars in itself has a lot of ways of customizing characters, but there's also a lot of ways you shouldn't customize your characters. We won't let you have a pink cape on Darth Vader, for instance. So this is more about, again, staying true to the fantasy of Star Wars. So we have, for instance, you saw that in trailer, alien heads that you can replace. So you can kind of find your favorite species and play as that. And there's a lot of other ways of customizing that I won't go into detail on right now. But the goal for us, again, is to keep it very Star Wars and have all customizations circle around that.
How are you encouraging people to go and explore while they're in these huge worlds? Talk about some of the different things they can unlock.
I won't go into detail on what you can unlock in the game, but there's a big plethora of stuff to do in Star Wars, right? So we want to, of course, let you explore that. But at its core, it's a game that is focusing most and foremost on multiplayer. So it's not a game where you just walk around and explore stuff. But of course, we know people will try to do that anyways, because these worlds are quite lush and interesting to discover. But at its core, it's a multiplayer shooter.
But one of the things you can unlock are heroes. Can you give us an idea of what that means?
Yeah, so one thing that is very important for the Star Wars universe is the heroes, right? You have all the heroes in the movies that have these special traits and these abilities that the general group of stormtroopers or rebels doesn't have. So we want to replicate that by introducing heroes to these multiplayer matches, where you can see them as more or less mini bosses, where they go in. You as a player can go in the shoes of Darth Vader and kind of own the place, which means that the rest of the opponents have to choose to either run away or they can group up and attack you. So you have one life when you're a hero to kind of wreak havoc on the battleground, which is quite interesting because you kind of stir things up, just the way you do when you look at the movies when one of our favorite heroes enters, things doesn't pan out the way it was planned. So the goal for us is to kind of, again, be true to the Star Wars universe here.
And the Star Wars universe has fans of all ages. Did that go into the decision to allow both third-person and first-person perspective gameplay to have a real large audience base?
I don't think it has to do with age, specifically, but we want to allow people to play depending on what you prefer. And this goes back to the legacy also of Star Wars Battlefront, where you could actually pick. So to us, it's something we wanted to add because we thought that you want to give you the option to do that, but it should be a benefit depending on if you want to play third person. Of course, you do it for a reason. If you want to play first person, you do that for another reason. So it doesn't really change the game.
When it comes to your background on the Battlefield franchise, how did what you guys have done on that franchise influence what you're doing in this multiplayer experience?
I think the influence comes from the core values of what DICE stands for. We want to create amazing game experiences, and the goal, of course, for Star Wars Battlefront is to do the same. But the interesting thing is that we actually went back to the roots and kind of removed the legacy we have from any of the Battlefield titles, making sure that we had a fresh take on, first of all, what is Star Wars Battlefront, and second, what does Star Wars stand for.